Let's start with what Pete Hegseth said. Days after 6 Americans were killed in Kuwait in the deadliest Iranian attack on U.S. forces since the war began, Hegseth stood at a Pentagon podium and described what happened. He called the drone a squirter, said it hit a fortified tactical operations center. Unfortunate, he implied, one of those things. Now let's hear from the people who were actually there. Quote, painting a picture that one squeaked through is a falsehood. I want people to know the unit was unprepared to provide any defense for itself. It was not a fortified position. Unquote. That's a wounded soldier speaking publicly for the first time, saying the Secretary of Defense's account was false. And he is not alone. Here's what we've learned. About a week before the launch of Operation Epic Fury, most American service members in Kuwait were relocated to Jordan, Saudi Arabia, positions further from Iranian missile range. The directive, as one soldier described it, get off the X, away from the danger zone. But members of the Army's 103rd Sustainment Command got different orders: pack everything and move closer to a smaller outpost on Kuwait's southern coast. So they moved closer to the threat. Quote, we moved closer to Iran, to a deeply unsafe area that was a known target. I don't think there was a good reason ever articulated. Unquote. So let's be really clear about what fortified actually means. The Tactical Operations Center was a structure it was a structure that was commonplace during the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. This was before the rise of drone warfare as a dominant threat. So steel reinforced T-walls surrounded the building, and they were designed to shield against mortars and rockets. We speculated about this in a video a few weeks ago. But they offer no protection from aerial attacks. Quote, from a bunker standpoint, that's about as weak as one gets. So when asked to describe the degree of fortification against drones, this soldier said, I would put it in the none category. The Pentagon's response to prior CBS reporting, which is where this comes from, was that the facility had 6-foot walls, which is true. It is also irrelevant to a drone coming in from above. Now, here's something that doesn't get enough attention in all this. Smaller quadcopter drones were seen flying around the port before the strike, and they were suspected of conducting reconnaissance. There were no American defense systems that could bring down incoming drones at this location. Requests for additional drone defeat capability had been made, and those resources never came. Quote, we basically had no drone defeat capability. The admin clearly expected retaliation. Hegseth later said the defensive posture was put in place before the offensive buildup, and that more than 90% of U.S. personnel on those bases were moved off the X. Patriot and THAAD systems were part of the force package in theater. Now, a retired Major General said directly, we should have been aware of this, and there should have been a message out to troops, out to commanders, to be prepared before this assault was ever launched on Iran. And then there's the morning of March 1st, when alarms sounded, and about 60 troops took cover in a cement bunker as a ballistic missile flew over their heads. And then, around 9:15 a.m., the all-clear was given. So officers removed their helmets, and troops returned to their desks. And about 30 minutes later, everything changed. Quote, head wounds, heavy bleeding, lots of perforated eardrums, and then just shrapnel all over. People bleeding from their abdomen, bleeding from their arms, bleeding from their legs. Unquote. The soldiers triaged themselves. They commandeered civilian vehicles to drive the wounded to Kuwaiti hospitals. Quote, one of the hardest things for me is that I know we didn't get everyone out. Unquote. 6 didn't make it home. All Army Reserve. All from the 103rd Sustainment Command out of Des Moines, Iowa. Hegseth's response to press coverage of their deaths was to accuse reporters of trying to make the president look bad. Who gives a shit? So here's the thing. Active duty service members generally don't speak to the press without authorization. There are pretty strict rules around it. So when soldiers still recovering, speaking anonymously to avoid retaliation, go on record to call the Secretary of Defense's account false, you should really pay attention. One of them said it directly, quote, "It's not my intent to diminish morale or to disparage the Army or the Department of War more holistically, but I do think that telling the truth is important, and we're not going to learn from these mistakes if we pretend these mistakes didn't happen." That's it. That's the whole thing. You either believe Pete Hegseth, the man who called a makeshift tin roof port facility with no drone defense a fortified position, or you believe the soldiers who were inside it when it blew apart. One of those groups was there.